What's up, guys? We are back with a full NBA slate here on Wednesday, November 6th. We're going to break down every game and look at bets on the side and over-under, and I'll throw some player props in the pinned comment for tomorrow for the national TV game. So buckle up, we have a great video for you tonight. If you want to win all of your bets today, hit that like button. It's good luck and show support for the channel and all the hard work we're putting in every single day. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on our daily content. You can now also sign up for a channel membership by clicking the little join button right below the video. Members get exclusive early access to all NFL and college football videos and get their names up on screen just like right now. I really appreciate the support from all of you. Seeing that badge next to your comments absolutely warms my heart. Our videos are sponsored by StumpThisRed.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering NFL, NBA, NCAA football, UFC, NHL, and NCAA basketball. This is one of the best times of the year to be in the mix with so many sports going on. Click the link in the description if you're interested in signing up, and also to join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today, and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We are committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite picks will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into game one. We have the Detroit Pistons going on the road to take on the Charlotte Hornets. Detroit comes into this game fresh off of one of their biggest wins of the season, guys. They protected their home court there against the Lakers, winning 115 to 103. So very good stuff there by the Pistons. Obviously, they've got to be stoked to come with a win over a Lakers team that's been pretty solid this year. They did really struggle to guard Anthony Davis, guys, which, I mean, that's happening to everybody at this point in the season. But we saw good stuff there from Cade. He posted a plus 14, only had 3 turnovers in the game. So something, like a big problem for him this year has been turning the ball over. We saw Jaden Ivey have a big game, a plus 20 there for him. He had 26 points and was 10 of 16 from the field. They did a decent job of getting to the line. I mean, 22 free throws there, not too shabby. And they out-rebounded the Lakers 55 to 37. So a big difference there. They only turned the ball over 12 times. They won this game comfortably despite shooting only 8 of 34 from long range. So a very solid night there for the Detroit Pistons. Absolutely no doubt about that. They come into this game pretty much with a clean bill of health, guys. I am a little bit worried about this being a letdown spot for them, obviously coming off of such a big win, but they've had time off and all that jazz, so they should be in pretty good shape here as they go on the road to take on the Charlotte Hornets, who are 2-5 on the season. They come into this game not off a good appearance at all, guys, off of a tough loss, a 114 to 93 loss there against the Minnesota Timberwolves. So yeah, not exactly what the Hornets had in mind there. They did not have a lot of answers for guys like Anthony Edwards, and just in general, I mean, Naz Reid destroyed him off the bench there. That was a big deal. Dante DiVincenzo finally found his jump shot. He had a big game there for the Timberwolves. Yeah, Charlotte just not looking that great out there. I mean, LaMelo Ball had a tough shooting night. 2 of 8 from 3, 6 of 15 from the field overall. He did score 19 points, but yeah, just not an amazing outing. The bench looked terrible. They fell off pretty hard. Brandon Miller coming back, showing a little bit of rust. He scored 10 points in 21 minutes, but was only 3 of 10 there from the field. So yeah, just not a great night out there for the Charlotte Hornets. So they're going to be looking for a little bit of a bounce back here. Obviously, having Brandon Miller back is really nice. Mark Williams still not ready to go. Cody Martin listed as day-to-day, so we're not sure if he's going to be playing in this game. But really, guys, Charlotte pretty close to full strength for this one. Obviously, having Ball and Miller back is, just having them both out there ready to go is a big deal. So looking at the numbers for this game, we see the Hornets, they are -1 or -1.5, somewhere in there. We've got an over-under of 221.5. Detroit, they are 5-3 against the spread, 6-2 to the under. Charlotte, 3-4 against the spread, and 5-2 to the under. So guys, right off the bat here with these two teams showing some trends here towards the under, I don't hate under 221.5 at all. I think that's very reasonable on this game. In terms of a side, I'm leaning just a little bit here towards the Hornets. I think they'll have a little bit of a bounce back game, and I mean, Detroit's coming off of a huge win for them, so I don't know if we're going to get, the best effort out of them, but we'll see how that goes. Generally speaking, though, guys, I think the under is probably the play in this one, and like I said, a slight lean there towards the Hornets. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Orlando Magic going on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers. The Magic come into this game having a rough time. They've now dropped 4 in a row. They just lost 102 to 86 there at Oklahoma City, and they got to continue this road trip that has not been a very fun one. Obviously, Paolo Banchero being out, not a great look here for this team. A rough game there against the Thunder for sure. They got outscored, by a lot there in the first half. Really rough first quarter. They're losing that one 26 to 39. So not a great look there. We did see Franz Wagner do what he could. He put up 22 points and ended up with a +1 ±, but yeah, Suggs had a really rough day out there in terms of +-. The bench looked terrible. This team is all of a sudden stretched very thin without Paolo Banchero out there. They didn't have any good answers for SGA or Jalen Williams, so just overall, guys, not a great day for the Magic. And I think there's probably more rough days ahead of them there as they wait for the eventual return of their Paolo Banchero. Not really 100% sure when he's going to be back, but obviously, a torn right oblique. It's going to be at minimum 4 to 6 weeks, and he's not going to very likely be coming back then either. So we'll see how things go there. Other than him, they're going to be missing Wendell Carter Jr. for this game, so that's not ideal either. Right off the bat, missing two pretty important pieces. He's still dealing with that foot issue, so we'll see what they can do here as they go on the road to take on the Indiana Pacers, who come into this game fresh off of a nice win. They're a 134-127 win at Dallas. So yeah, coming off a big win, the Pacers get to go back home to take on a banged up Orlando Magic team. In that win against Dallas, we saw Indiana just play great. They shot 40% from three. Siakam had a big day. Tyrese Halliburton seemed to get a little bit back on track, putting up 25 points and a +9 out there. Siakam was +16, so great stuff there. Miles Turner, a big night for him, 5 of 8 from three-point range. He played great in the game, 11 rebounds as well. Just a very good day up and down the roster there for the Pacers. So they've got to feel great coming into this one. In terms of that injury report, they're still a little bit banged up. Nembhard on the injury report as day-to-day. He did play in that game against, he did play in the game against the Dallas Mavericks. He played 29 minutes, so not too worried about him. We are seeing it being very, very likely Aaron Nesmith going to be out for this game as well. I don't know if that hurts him a ton. He's in a walking boot still, so we don't know when he's going to be back, but that left ankle is going to keep him out here for a minute. So looking at the numbers for this game, we got the Pacers here at -7. We got an over-under of 224.5. Orlando only 2-6 against the spread, 5-3 to the over. Indiana, they are 4-3 against the spread and 5-2 to the over as well. This is a weird spot, guys. Given the trends, I'd want to look at this over, but since Paulo's out, I don't really love the over-under too much here. I would still shade slightly towards the over. It is an Indiana Pacers game, but I do think you probably want to be on the Pacers here at -7. I just think they've got too much talent. I think Siakam can really mess up whatever Franz Wagner wants to do out there, and if he doesn't have a good night, the Orlando Magic are going to have a really, really rough time. So give me the Pacers here at -7. I think this has an excellent shot of ending up in the pinned comment. Hey guys, jumping in here with a quick ad break. This is a great time to sign up at StumpTheSpread.com. Signing up for a premium membership gets you access to our entire team of cappers covering NFL, college football, NBA, NHL, UFC, and NCAA basketball, which is just starting up and has been one of our most profitable sports over the years. We make things extremely easy for you with pick notifications directly to your phone and unit sizes assigned to each play so you can see where our confidence level is on every individual matchup. To test out the service before you buy, join our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're new. And also, if you want to experience peer-to-peer sports betting while paying almost zero juice, click the link in the description to sign up at BetOpenly.com. Now, guys, back to the games. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the New York Knicks going on the road here to take on the Atlanta Hawks. The Knicks come into this game 3-3 on the season, fresh off of a tough 109-97 loss there at Houston. Not exactly what I thought we were going to get out of the Knicks in that game, guys. We did see, OG Anunoby actually had a big game. He went 5 of 6 from 3. Him and Mikal Bridges each played 40 minutes in the game. Jalen Brunson played 42 minutes, scored 29 points, but that bench continues to be an absolute black hole of production, guys. They only got 3 bench points in the entire game. Miles McBride going 0 of 9 from the field. Rough stuff out there for the bench. Cat had an okay night. I mean, he did have 19 rebounds, but only 17 points. They need his scoring. They need his shooting, and he was 0 of 2 there from deep. The Knicks lost that game pretty handily despite going 11 of 28 from three-point range. They got out-rebounded aggressively, guys. Lost the battle of the boards 39-50. That just was not a great look. Sengun had a monster night out there, 14 rebounds and 25 points, and Van Vliet played well, and the Rockets won that game comfortably despite shooting only 24.2% from deep. So, yeah, not a good night their last time out for the Knicks. They've got to be a little bit worried about that. Coming into this game with the same injury situation, guys. Still going to be very, very short on the bench there. And yeah, Precious Achiuwa, Mitchell Robinson, not going to be back yet. So we'll see what they can do as they go on the road to take on the Atlanta Hawks, who come into this game only 3-5 on the season. Not having a great time. They just got blown out there by the Celtics, which that's going to happen to a lot of teams. But yeah, this is a Hawks team that lost back-to-back games there against Washington. They did win against, the shorthanded New Orleans Pelicans, but not a ton of positives report here for the Atlanta Hawks. I mean, in that loss, not a very competitive loss there against Boston. We saw them have 0 answer for Tatum, very little answer there for Derek White. They didn't have any good answers for the Celtics bench. Yeah, Trae Young didn't have a very good day at all. 1 of 10 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. He posted a -28 out there. So just a ton of negatives in this game for the Atlanta Hawks, who are not really at full strength either, guys. Trae Young on the injury report for this one, he's listed as day-to-day right now. He's currently dealing with a rib injury. He's probable for this game, so I think we'll see him play, but we are not going to see DeAndre Hunter. That is a big deal for this team. Yeah, he's still dealing with that knee issue. I guess technically he's questionable. Right now it's being shown as out on the injury report for me, so we'll see. I do not expect him to play in this game. Obviously, Bogdan Bogdanovic, he's not going to be back. Cody Buffkin, he's not back. So yeah, just not the full strength Atlanta Hawks, which kind of makes sense here. They are getting 8 points playing at home. We've got an over-under of 225. The Knicks, they are 3-3 against the spread, 3-3 to the over-under. Atlanta, they are 1-7 against the spread this season. They are 7-1 to the over. In terms of the over-under here, guys, I'm probably leaning just slightly towards the over, I guess. 225 does feel like a lot of points for a Knicks game, don't get me wrong, and that is kind of banking on there being plenty of scoring there from the Hawks, which I don't think that's a given, but yeah, I do think over 225 is where we want to be in this game. In terms of the side, I almost want to take the Hawks here and the points. They are kind of shorthanded. The Knicks are coming off kind of a bad loss, so maybe they just, come out and dominate. And I don't really think Clint Capella is going to have a good time against Karl Anthony Towns. So you could really talk me into either side of this game, but I do think you want to be slightly on that over. Next on the docket, guys, we have our first nationally televised game of the night. We've got the Golden State Warriors going on the road to take on the Boston Celtics on ESPN. The Warriors come into this game 6-1 on the season. They've gotten off to a great start, albeit against a pretty weak schedule, but this is going to be their first, real test here as they go on the road to take on the Celtics. Curry came back there in their last game and looked pretty decent against the Wizards. It was a 125-112 win there for the Warriors, so they'll certainly take that. We saw Draymond Green pop off for 18 points. That's a great sign. Curry put up 24 points, went 4 of 9 from 3, 6 assists in the game, only 2 turnovers, and he played only 24 minutes. So he's going to be very, very fresh coming into this one. Plenty of time to continue rehabbing that ankle. I'm expecting him to be fine. This dude knows how to fix an ankle injury. He's been doing it his entire career. We saw Wiggins really struggle in his 18 minutes, so that's a bit of a concern. We saw Kuminga continue to thrive in his bench role. We saw Buddy Hield continue to look great coming off the bench. He had 20 points. Moody shot the ball relatively well. The Warriors won that game convincingly despite shooting only 32.4% from three-point range, and a big reason they had so much success, they won the battle of the boards 56-47. So that's got to feel pretty good. They only turned the ball over 6 times, so that's nice as well. It was just a very good day across the board there for the Warriors, who come into this one pretty healthy. The only guy that's really on their injury report is DeAnthony Melton. He's still out, but we're not too worried about that, guys. More minutes for Steph and Podziemski there at the point guard position is no problem for me. Moses Moody being in the starting lineup, I love that. Buddy Hield and Kuminga can come off the bench and absolutely kill. So a lot of positives here for this extremely deep Golden State Warriors team as they go on the road to take on the defending champion Boston Celtics, who are 7-1 this season. They come into this game fresh off of a blowout win. That blowout win there we just saw at Atlanta. So yeah, good stuff there for the Celtics. Really no big concerns right now. I mean, they still have Jaylen Brown out. He's going to be continuing to miss time here as he tries to figure out that hip injury. He's been ruled out officially for this game, so we will not see him out there, but they didn't miss him too bad there against the Hawks. Obviously, they could miss his defense a little bit in this one, but Jason Tatum is on an absolute tear, guys. 28 points, a plus 27 out there. He went 6 of 14 from three-point range, eliminating that hitch out of his shot. Really seems to have worked some wonders. We saw the Celtics win that game comfortably despite shooting only 32% from three-point range. On 55 attempts, they dominated there on the boards. They did have 12 turnovers in the game, but they forced 19, so not a whole lot of negatives. That bench continues to look very, very good. It'll be interesting to see what guys like Pritchard and Hauser can do against the depth that the Warriors have, though, because it seems like they're kind of used to going up against these shallow teams, and Golden State might be the deepest team in the NBA this season. So we'll see what they can do out there. Like I said, Jaylen Brown really the only guy on the injury report. We see the Celtics here playing at home as 7.5-point favorites. We've got an over-under of 229.5. Golden State's been having a great season against the spread, guys. They are 6-1 against the spread this year. They are 4-3 to the over. Boston 5-3 against the spread and 5-3 there to the under. So first up, guys, in terms of that over/under, I'm going to shade just a little bit towards the under. I think we could have a bit of a playoff atmosphere in this game, albeit with Jaylen Brown sidelined. So I think a little bit more low scoring could make some sense. I also think you want to take a look here at the Golden State Warriors getting 7.5. I think their depth is going to cause some issues there for Boston. I think they've got the guys to get up and down with Boston. I think they've got the pieces to defend Boston relatively well. I mean, I don't think Draymond Green's going to shut down Tatum or anything like that, but I think he can wear him out a little bit and just make his life a little bit tougher. And if he starts taking tough shots, all of a sudden things can get a little bit weird out there for the Celtics. So we'll see how things go. I don't necessarily think the Warriors are in a spot to steal this game, but I do think they're in a spot to keep it very, very close. Jumping in with our first ever sportsbook ad, guys, and I am super excited to tell you about BetOpenly. They are unlike any regular sportsbook out there. Their whole goal is to facilitate peer-to-peer betting, so instead of them having a vested interest in you winning or losing your bet, they just want to match you up with a real person who wants the opposite side. At BetOpenly, you will be paying drastically reduced juice on your bets, close to 1% instead of the 10% you would pay at any of the big guys. Not having to fight that built-in house edge sounds pretty great to me. BetOpenly supports all your favorite bets, including props and parlays, and get this, guys, you can even be the house on parlays, meaning you only need a single leg to win to cash your bet. Most importantly, BetOpenly will never limit your account for being a consistent winner, which is something that happens all the time on the bigger sites. If you're interested in signing up, click the referral link in the description of this video and let's cash some bets. Now, guys, back to the games. Moving right along here, guys, we are looking at the San Antonio Spurs going on the road here to take on the Houston Rockets. The Spurs come into this game 3-4 on the season, fresh off of a 113-104 loss there at the Clippers, so that probably doesn't feel too great. They're not having an amazing start to their season, but they don't have super high expectations, really. I mean, yeah, definitely a tough loss there. They got blown out in the fourth quarter, losing the final frame 31-18, so that's a bit of a tough look, guys. We saw a nice game there from Wemby, albeit a little bit inefficient shooting the ball, only 9 of 22 from the field, and honestly, his three-point stroke hasn't looked amazing this year, but he also had 9 blocks in the game and 13 rebounds. He posted a minus 21 plus-minus, so we're not going to freak out too much there. Chris Paul did his thing, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, and 14 points of his own. He also posted a plus 10, so that had to feel nice. Sohan, guys, he hurt his thumb. He's going to be out here for a while. I honestly don't think his absence makes his team any worse. I honestly think it actually makes him a little bit better. He has straight up lost some games for this team this season. I'm not sure what the Spurs really see in him. One of my least favorite players in the NBA at the moment. Generally speaking, though, guys, the bench did not a great one. They didn't look amazing. They did have a couple double-digit scores there off the bench, so we'll see if they can bounce back. They had very few answers there for Norman Powell, and yeah, I mean, Zubac put up 17 points and 13 rebounds. He's a problem out there. Coffee off the bench was great, posted a plus 34, which is insane. So yeah, the Spurs definitely have plenty to work on here. Devin Vassell going to be out for this game. Trey Jones going to be out, and obviously Sohan there going to be out for quite a while. So yeah, they might be a little bit shorthanded. The bench isn't going to be super deep for this game as they go on the road to take on the Houston Rockets, who come into this one 4-3 on the season, fresh off of that nice win they had there over the Knicks. They've already played the Spurs twice this season. They won one and lost one. Neither one was really a blowout, either two pretty competitive games, but that game against the Knicks, guys, was a very, very solid one there for Houston. They did some good things out there, no doubt about that. Yeah, a decent fourth quarter for them for sure. They played well with the Knicks there in the first half. Just a good game overall for the Rockets. We saw a huge game there for Sengun, 8 plus 14 for him, 14 rebounds, 25 points, 5 assists mixed in there as well, and he had 4 blocks. Like, he was just all over the place. Not a great shooting day for the Rockets. They still managed to get the win. So yeah, a lot of things pointed in a positive direction right now for Houston, guys. The injury report not looking ideal. Dylan Brooks is on there listed as day to day. Is he going to be available for this game? It's not 100% sure. He's questionable for this one. So yeah, he's dealing with an illness. So that's a very up in the air situation. Tari Eason comes into this one, guys. He is also on the injury report, but I don't think there's, he's questionable with an illness. So I'm assuming, they've got something going through the locker room there, him and Dylan Brooks. So we'll see if they both play in this game. Could get a little bit sketchy. Definitely an injury report you're going to want to keep a very, very close eye on here for this one. And looking at the numbers, Houston -6 playing at home. We've got an over-under of 215.5, so a very low total in this game. And San Antonio 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the under. Houston 4-3 against the spread as well, and 5-2 to the under. So both teams showing trends towards the under here, but with a very decent, or at least very aggressive defender there in Dylan Brooks possibly out, I'm leaning just a hair towards the over in this game. 216.5 is not a ton of points. I think honestly having Sohan out there will make this San Antonio Spurs offense work a little bit better. Not that they have a ton of scoring out there, but I do think we're going to see some pop-off games eventually from guys like Harrison Barnes and Wembanyama. Even Keldon Johnson has the ability to put up some solid scoring numbers. So we'll see how things go in terms of the total. Like I said, leaning slightly towards the over. In terms of the side, guys, I do like the Spurs here and the points a good amount. I mean, these two teams have played already this season, and both games were very, very close. I mean, we saw in the first one, I believe we had the Spurs take the loss in the first game. No, the Spurs won the first game. They won 109 to 106, and they lost the second game 106 to 101. So I'm expecting another close game here. I think the Spurs are going to be better with that with Sohan out. So give me San Antonio here at +6. I think it's a very good spot. Moving right along here, guys, we're looking at the Los Angeles Lakers. They're going on the road to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. The Lakers come into this game, guys. They are sitting at 4-3 on the season. They took a tough loss at Detroit their last time out, and this road trip not going amazing, guys. I mean, they lost the first 2 games, losing at Phoenix in a super close one. No real shame there, but then getting blown out at Cleveland can't feel great. A nail-biter win there at Toronto, and then a loss at Detroit. So, yeah, plenty to work on here, guys, for the Lakers. Obviously, I mean, yeah, JJ getting this squad off to a fantastic start. Anthony Davis playing really well in that game against the Pistons, putting up 37 points. But we saw the Lakers shoot only 9 of 25 from three-point range, which isn't a terrible shooting night, but the real problem was they got dominated on the boards, losing the battle of the boards 55 to 37. So a big problem there. Also, nobody really played well off the bench, which is another big issue. This team got to find some depth, got to find some guys that can produce off the bench, and that might be a big look. We'll see how things go, though. I mean, we saw Hachimura be way less, aggressive there on the offensive end. Only took 6 shots in the game. He was 2 of 2 from three-point range, still only scored 8 points in the game. So yeah, not a banner day from him. They'll definitely need more there, and they're kind of banged up here on the injury report, guys. We've got D'Angelo Russell listed as day-to-day, Austin Reeves listed as day-to-day, and Anthony Davis on the injury report also listed as day-to-day. So we'll see who actually plays in this one. Yeah, Davis dealing with an ankle. He's questionable for this one, so really no idea if he's going to play. I would maybe shade a little bit towards he probably will, but we don't really know. Austin Reeves, he's dealing with an ankle injury as well, but he is probable for this game. I think we'll definitely see him out there. And D'Angelo Russell, he's dealing with a foot issue, but he is also probable for this one. So the Lakers should be at full strength. The guy you really got to keep an eye on for this one is whether or not we're going to see Anthony Davis in this game. If he doesn't play, that's a big old yikes there for the Lakers. So we'll see what happens here as they go on the road to take on the Grizzlies, who are 4-4 on the season. They come into this one fresh off of a tough 2-point loss there at Brooklyn. Not a great look. You're not supposed to be losing games against the Brooklyn Nets this season, but hey, it's going to happen, I guess. I mean, in the game, guys, a low-scoring game, 104 to 106. We saw Ja do a lot of cool stuff, but he ended the day 10 of 22, 1 of 3 from 3, 25 points. Edey had 25 points of his own. It's his best game there as a pro. He was 11 of 12 from the field, 12 rebounds, 4 blocks, a +5 for him. But yeah, Aldama, not a great game. 0 of 6 from deep. Jaren Jackson Jr. had a pretty good game, but only 5 rebounds. So definitely some stuff to work on there. The bench, Scottie Pippen Jr. had a great day. 14 points for him. Not a great plus-minus day, but still a pretty good day for him. The Grizzlies out-rebounded the Brooklyn Nets, but it seems like defense might be a bit of a concern for this team. They gave up multiple 20-point scores, not even including Cam Thomas. So, yeah, not a banner day for the Grizzlies there on defense. Need to work out a lot of stuff. Obviously, they're still missing guys like Bane. That's a big absence for them, but maybe not their best game. Looking at their injury report, guys, Marcus Smart and Desmond Bane both going to be out for this one. Luke Kennard going to be out. John Concher going to be out. Like, they need Bane back really bad. Marcus Smart coming back, that would be great as well, but at this point in his career, I don't know if it's the biggest deal. A right ankle sprain, not a great look there. He's considered week to week, so he is not going to be playing in this game. And Bane, guys, he's still dealing with that oblique strain, a huge problem. He's week to week as well, not going to be playing in this game. So very much less than full strength Memphis Grizzlies here, and they're still favorites in this game. They're -1. We've got an over-under of 230 out there. The Lakers are 4-3 against the spread, 4-3 to the over. Memphis 3-5 against the spread, and 5-3 to the over as well. With a total of 230 out there, guys, I don't know about that. I'm probably going to be shading a little bit towards the under, but I like the Lakers to get the win in this game here. You can take them +1. You can take them on the money line. Either way, I like the Lakers here a good amount. With the caveat, guys, Anthony Davis has to be playing. If Anthony Davis is out, I'm avoiding this game completely. I have no idea who's going to win because I just don't trust the Lakers here without their bona fide best player. It's no doubt that Anthony Davis is the best player on this team at this point. They need him in there. So gotta find out what his status is going to be for this game. But if he does play, I love the Lakers in this spot. Next on the docket, guys, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Cavaliers come into this game still undefeated on the season, 8-0 on the year. They come into this game fresh off a very close game. They won both games there in that little 2-game mini series against the Milwaukee Bucks, but man, they won game 1 by 1 point. They won game 2 by 2 points. So very, very close stuff out there for the Cavaliers. They're finding a way to get the job done, no doubt about that, but they are no longer that automatic team against the spread like they were to start off the season, although they are still 7-1 against the spread. So not like I'm complaining. Mobley had a good game out there, 17 points for him, but the real hero of this one was Garland, guys. He scored 39 points. He went 15 of 22 from the field, 7 of 11 from 3. This guy can absolutely catch fire. He also had 8 assists in the game, so he wasn't being super selfish or anything like that, but they wanted him to take all the shots in that one. Donovan Mitchell was only 5-15 from the field. He seemed more than happy to take the backseat in that game and let Garland cook, and that is a great sign for this team as a unit. We saw Merrill shoot the ball pretty well off the bench. He put up 12 points. Niang, 3 of 6 from three-point range for him for 9 points, so that's a good game for him as well. They lost the rebounding battle pretty convincingly, but they didn't need to get a whole lot of rebounds. All their shots were going in, guys. They shot 45.9% from three-point range. They won this game convincingly despite only shooting 13 free throws, and they shot just over 50% from the field. Looks like that Milwaukee Bucks perimeter defense still pretty bad. So Cleveland, in terms of their injury report, they're coming into this game. They're going to be missing Dean Wade. He's out for this one. Karis LeVert is going to be maybe playing. He's questionable there with his knee thing that's going on. Dean Wade definitely going to be out here with an illness. So yeah, definitely we've got a little cold/flu situation running through the NBA locker rooms at the moment. So generally speaking, Cleveland's going to be pretty healthy, but not quite at 100% for this game. So we'll see what they can do as they go on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 3-5 on the season. They come into this game fresh off of a 118-100. Yeah, an 18-point loss there to the Portland Trailblazers. Things are not working out right now in New Orleans, guys. It is getting fairly bleak out there for the Pelicans. I mean, they just got absolutely destroyed there in the fourth quarter. They lost the fourth quarter of that game 39-18. We saw a big game there from Anthony Simons, and just really no answers here for the Pelicans, guys. I mean, yeah, Alvarado only 4 of 14 from the field. Brandon Ingram had to take all the shots in this game for a very banged up Pelicans team. I mean, BI put up 27 points, but a -10 out there. He wasn't getting hardly any help. The Pelicans are only 10 of 35 from three-point range. They lost the rebounding battle to Portland. That's not a great look. Just not a lot of talent left on this roster with how devastated they've been by injuries. We got Jordan Hawkins on the injury report right now. Zion on the injury report right now. With CJ McCollum, we don't know when he's going to be back. We also don't know when Dejounte Murray is going to be back either. So definitely not a team that's at full strength. In terms of guys that might have a chance to play, guys, Jordan Hawkins, he's dealing with the back issue. He is questionable for this one. Zion, he's got a thigh injury. He's officially questionable for this game. Dejounte Murray, obviously still out, going to be out those 4 to 6 weeks after having surgery. And CJ McCollum, at least 2 to 3 weeks there with his, whole right abductor strain. So definitely not the full strength New Orleans Pelicans coming into this game. That's why New Orleans is getting 7.5 points in this one. They've got an over-under of 224 out there. Cleveland is 7-1 against the spread this season, 5-3 to the over. New Orleans is 2-6 against the spread and 5-2-1 to the over. First up, guys, the over looks like a very good play to me. Over 224.5 doesn't seem crazy at all. Cleveland, not a team that's going to be super locked in on defense for this game, I don't think. I mean, obviously, they're a team that shows a bit of a trend towards the over. They just played some very high-scoring games there against the Milwaukee Bucks. So over 224, I think, is a very good play in this game. I also don't hate taking Cleveland here at -7.5. It feels a little bit big to me, especially since the Cavaliers aren't going to be at full strength for this game, but I do think there's some value, and they've been one of the best teams in the NBA against the spread this season, so really no harm in betting on them. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Chicago Bulls. They're going on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Chicago comes in this game 3-4 on the season. They are fresh off of a tough 135-126 loss at home against the Utah Jazz. They've now lost 2 in a row, so that's not ideal. In that loss against Utah, guys, we were not too happy with what we saw from Chicago overall. Yeah, it wasn't even the full-strength Utah Jazz either, so that's not a great look. But it wasn't the full-strength Bulls either, so maybe we should cut him a little bit of slack. But yeah, Josh Giddey, 15 points, a -18 for him, though. Not a great look. He had 7 assists, but he also had 3 turnovers and just couldn't get it going out there for some reason. Dosunmu couldn't hit a 3-point shot to save his life, but he was 9 of 13 from the field, 7 of 7 from the line, and posted a +2 and 25 points. Kobe White was shooting the lights out, guys. 6 of 9 from three-point range for him, 28 points for him. Like, yeah, some pretty good stuff, but the bench looked really, really bad, guys, and they clearly are missing some important pieces. Notably, guys, Zach LaVine not being out there does not help. Lonzo Ball still missing time, not ideal either. And we got a crowded injury report here for the Bulls. Josh Giddey on there, Zach LaVine on there, Patrick Williams on there, Jalen Smith on there as well. Lonzo Ball confirmed out. He's going to be out for a bit here. Giddey, he's probable for this one due to a non-COVID illness. Like I said, guys, illnesses going around the NBA. Zach LaVine still dealing with that thigh issue. We'll see if he comes back for this one. Seems like there's a definite chance, but also seems like it's definitely not for sure. So we'll have to wait on that news a little bit. Patrick Williams, he's going to be playing this game almost for sure. He's probable there with his shoulder issue, so that'll be a nice little boost here for the Bulls, but overall, probably not going to be at 100% for this game as they go on the road to take on the Dallas Mavericks, who come into this one, guys, fresh off of a tough loss there against the Indiana Pacers. They lost that one 134 to 127. Yeah, they just seemed like they couldn't, put anything together. No sustained runs there. They struggled a little bit against the defense of Siakam, I feel like. We saw a good day there from Kyrie Irving, although he took some questionable shots. Luka still, I don't know, it just feels like he can't get it going. 9 of 24 from the field for him. He did have 34 points and 15 assists, but only 4 of 10 there from three-point range. It just didn't feel like he was 100% comfortable out there on the floor. We're seeing a lot of complaining to the officials again, so we'll see how that goes moving forward, but a little bit worried about him. Clay was 4 of 8 from three-point range, but posted a negative 14. The bench actually looked great. Najee Marshall went nuts out there. 8 of 9, 2 of 2 from three-point range, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. A great night for him, but yeah, just not enough out there. Despite shooting 41.7% from the field, they just couldn't get it done. They were getting out-rebounded, and they could not defend the Pacers. So we'll see what they can do here against the Bulls. In terms of their injury report, PJ Washington going to be out for this game. That is something that is definitely a significant concern. Maxi Kleber still out. Don't really care about that. Derek Lively, he is questionable for this game with his shoulder issue, so we might see him out there, but I would tend to think it's slightly unlikely. But yeah, PJ Washington being out with a right knee sprain, that is definitely bad news here for the Mavs. So we'll see what they can do here at home. The Mavs are 10.5-point favorites. We've got an over-under of 234.5 in this game. The Bulls are 3-4 against the spread, 5-2 to the over. Dallas 3-4 against the spread, and 4-3 to the under. Guys, in general in this game, I do think you probably want to be looking a little bit towards that over. I think we'll see plenty of offense out there. I mean, 234.5 is a big number, but I don't think we're going to see a crazy amount of defense. I also don't hate taking the Chicago Bulls here at plus 10.5. I don't know that I like this enough to put it in the pinned comment, but it definitely, I feel like, has some merit if we found out that Zach LaVine was going to be back for this game. If the Bulls are going to be closer to full strength, the Mavs are going to be missing some pretty important pieces for this game, so I think you might want to be taking a look here at the Bulls and the points. Next on the docket, guys, we've got a game that I am pretty shocked did not end up on national TV. We've got the Oklahoma City Thunder going on the road here to take on the Denver Nuggets. The Thunder come into this game 7-0 on the season, still undefeated. They come into this one fresh off of a nice 102-86 win there over the Orlando Magic. Obviously, guys, it was the Orlando Magic, not exactly at full strength. They were missing Paolo Banchero, so that's a pretty big deal, but we saw the Thunder take care of business there. We saw Jalen Williams and SGA both score over 20 points. We saw Isaiah Joe do good off the bench there. The Thunder as a team shot almost 40% from 3, so not an amazing shooting day for them, but still comfortably got the job done. They kept things even there on the boards, and they played some pretty good defense, guys, limiting the Orlando Magic, albeit the not full strength Orlando Magic, to only 14.7% shooting from 3-point range. So a very good, very easy win there for the Thunder, who come into this game, guys, looking relatively healthy. Obviously, they still don't have Jalen Williams or Isaiah Hartenstein, but I don't think that's going to be the biggest deal for this squad, who have already played they already played against the Denver Nuggets once this season, and it went pretty well. It was an opening night. They got a 102-87 win there over the Nuggets. So we'll see what they can do in this one, taking on Denver, who can't be too excited, guys. We now are seeing Aaron Gordon going to be out for multiple weeks here for Denver. They come into this game fresh off a win, but it was over Toronto, and it was by 2 points, guys. This team has to really gut it out for every single win. Jokic has to go nuts out there. He had a 28-point triple-double there to get that win over Toronto. So, yeah, nothing coming easy here for Denver. They shot only 10 of 31 from three-point range in the game. Michael Porter Jr., 3 of 10 from deep. No signs of life really here for, we don't have Murray out there. That's a big problem. Westbrook doing what he can. 1 of 5 from 3, though, for him. He did have 21 points in the game, so nice stuff there. We did see Watson look look good off the bench, but just generally really looking like a thin roster here for the Denver Nuggets. As you know, we've got Jamal Murray and Aaron Gordon out. This is not a team that's built to be able to sustain injuries, guys. They cannot do that. They're way too thin, and missing two integral pieces like Murray and Gordon is going to make things even tougher here on Jokic. I mean, yeah, Murray definitely going to be out for this game, still dealing with concussion symptoms, and Gordon, like I said, multiple weeks there with that right calf strain. So look at the numbers for this game. We've got the Nuggets, they're getting 4.5 points playing at home. We've got an over-under of 223.5. OKC, they're 5-1 against the spread and 4-2 to the under. Denver, 2-5 against the spread and 5-2 to the over. Guys, this feels like a trap to me. Denver, I feel like should be more like plus 6.5, or maybe something like that at least. And generally speaking, I understand the thought process behind this probably for the books. They expect Jokic to go absolutely bonkers out there, but I just don't think that's going to be enough in this game. I know Chet can't really defend Jokic and all that kind of stuff, and I know he's going nuts, but I just think the Thunder have too many options, too much depth right now, and just SGA going to go nuts out there. So definitely give me the Thunder here at -4.5. In terms of that over-under of 223.5, I'd probably lean just slightly towards the under. The Thunder aren't playing crazy high-scoring games right now, so maybe give me just a little taste of that under, but my main lean in this game is going to be OKC to win this one comfortably. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Miami Heat. They're going on the road to take on the Phoenix Suns. The Heat come into this game 3-3 on the season, fresh off of a 111 to 110, so a 1-point loss there, playing at home against the Sacramento Kings. The Heat have not had a great time this season, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's been a little bit rough out there, and that loss really had to sting, guys. They made a furious comeback, winning the fourth quarter 32-26, but coming up just 1 point short is brutal. Jimmy Butler had a big game, 27 points for him, 6 assists, only 1 turnover. He was 9 of 19 from the field. Bam had a decent day, 16 points, but Tyler Hero went nuts for 27 points and still just not enough to get the job done. The Heat lost despite shooting 41.7% from three-point range. The bench is not amazing, guys. Duncan Robinson did have 9 points off the pine. Just not a lot of great production there coming off the bench, though. It's definitely an ongoing issue. Rozier had a decent game as well, and just like all these guys having good games, and you still managed to find a loss, albeit a 1-point loss against a pretty decent opponent, but they struggled to defend DeRozan. They struggled to defend De'Aaron Fox. This is just not looking like an amazing Miami Heat team. They come into this game relatively healthy. I mean, Jaime Jaquez Jr. being out is obviously not nice. Kevin Love also being out makes them lack a little bit of depth there. So yeah, maybe some depth concerns here, but we'll see what they can do as they go on the road to take on the Phoenix Suns, who come into this game 6-1 on the season. They're off to a pretty good start, not against the easiest schedule either, but so they'll definitely take it. Their last game was a 118 to 116 win there over the Philadelphia 76ers. So a very close game. We saw some vintage play from Kevin Durant. He can just do everything out there, and they spoiled Paul George's debut as a Philadelphia 76er. KD going off for 35 points. An absolute pleasure to watch him play basketball, guys. Nurkic also had a good game, a plus 16 out there for him. He had 15 points and 15 rebounds. Devin Booker didn't have to do too much. He had a terrible shooting night from deep, 0 of 6 from 3. So yeah, not too many negatives there. The bench continues to look a little bit thin, but did some positive things out there. Grayson Allen, 14 points. Royce O'Neal, 15 points. So not a bad night out there for the Suns, who come into this game fairly healthy. Bradley Beal there on the injury report. He's listed as day-to-day right now. He's dealing with an elbow injury, and he's probable for this one. So I do think we'll see him suit up for this game. And looking at the numbers for this one, guys, we see the Suns are -5.5 playing at home. We've got an over-under of 222. Miami, 2-4 against the spread, 4-2 to the under. Phoenix, 2-5 against the spread and 4-3 to the over. Guys, I think this is actually a spot you might want to be on the Miami Heat. I think they can do enough things to keep, KD a little bit uncomfortable out there. I think they'll keep things relatively close. I do worry about guys like, Booker having something of a bounce back night, and there's not a lot of great options to defend him there on the Heat. But I do think this is a spot where Miami could probably keep things pretty close, despite the fact they're playing on the road here. And in terms of the over-under of 222, I'd probably side just a little bit there towards the under. I don't think we're going to see a super high scoring game for this one. I think the Heat can kind of turn this into a knockdown, drag it out kind of situation, and that's going to lead to scoring being at a premium. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Philadelphia 76ers going on the road to take on the LA Clippers. The 76ers are only 1-5 on the season. They come into this game fresh off of that 118 to 116 loss there at Phoenix. So yeah, not an amazing look there for the 76ers. We also have that drama swirling with Embiid shoving a columnist. Not too I'm honestly kind of on Embiid's side, as not a huge huge Embiid fan. If you're writing stuff about my son and about my dead brother, I'm probably going to have a negative reaction to that if it's, a negative article, which it certainly was. We saw Paul George make his season debut there for the 76ers in their last game, and he put up 15 points, but he was only 4 of 14 from the field, so not a great debut. Just not a great day out there in general. We did see Maxey continue to do his thing, 32 points for him, and a fairly efficient shooting night, but even just not a great look. The bench honestly looked better than the starters there for the 76ers at some different points, and they did keep themselves in this game, but eventually coming out on the short end, they got out rebounded by the Suns. Not an amazing rebounding team, and until we see the final form here, this this Philadelphia team, I'm not going to be able to really tell what I think they're going to do down the stretch this season, but they are digging themselves quite the hole here in the early goings. For the 76ers, guys, Paul George listed as day-to-day for this one. Obviously, Embiid is still out, and he's going to have to serve a suspension there, so we'll see how that goes. But Paul George probable for this one. I think we definitely see him play in this game, going up against his former team, the LA Clippers, who come into this game at 3-4 on the season. They are fresh off of a 113-104 win over the San Antonio Spurs, a win that snapped a 3-game losing streak for them. So definitely a much-needed win out there. And we saw the Clippers kind of win the way they've been winning this season. I mean, Norman Powell having a big game, Zubac chipping in quite a bit there. Harden actually had a little bit of a worse game than normal, but they shot the lights out from three, guys. 19 of 37 from deep. Covey went 5 of 6 there from three-point range. This team just had a very, very good shooting night, and we're able to knock off the Spurs, but not by the biggest of margins. So we'll see what they can do in this one. The Clippers come into this game very healthy. Everybody ready to go except for Mo Bamba and obviously Kawhi Leonard. Who knows when we'll see him play this season, or if we'll even see him play this season, but the Clippers pretty healthy for this game. The odds makers have this one as basically a coin flip. The Clippers are getting 1.5 points playing at home here. We've got an over-under of 219. The 76ers, 2-4 against the spread, 5-1 to the over this year. The Clippers, 4-2 against the spread, and 3-3 there to the over-under. Guys, I think this is a pretty good revenge spot here for Paul George. The Clippers are in for a letdown of a shooting night. I think this is going to be an absolute shootout. I love over 219 in this game. I think that's a fantastic spot. That's got a great chance to end up in the pinned comment. I also think you want to take the Philadelphia 76ers here, getting -1.5. I think they're going to go on the road here. Big revenge game for Paul George. Let me have the 76ers. Last but not least here, guys, we've got the Toronto Raptors. They're going on the road to take on the Sacramento Kings. The Raptors come into this game only 2-6 on the season, fresh off of a 2-point loss there at the Denver Nuggets. So, no shame in losing there at Denver, obviously, but it's not full strength Denver, but you are also the Toronto Raptors. So we'll see what they can do in this one in that loss against Denver, guys. We did see some positive signs out of the Raptors. I mean, we saw RJ Barrett, 16 points, albeit only 2 of 11 there from three-point range, so that's not great, but Grady Dick continues to have a very good season, guys. 26 points for him, 4 of 9 there from three-point range. That's got to be nice. Just in general, a pretty good day out there, at least for the Toronto starters. This bench not really filling me with tons of optimism, but they did a decent job on the boards. They couldn't really control, Jokic out there, but who can control Jokic? So I'm not going to give him a bunch of crap for that. Overall, not a bad day for a rebuilding Raptors team that wasn't at full strength. They're going to not have Quickly or Scotty Barnes for this game. I hope Scotty Barnes is okay. That was a rough look there, but Quickly you would think would be getting back relatively soon from his injury, but no reason for them to rush him back. He's officially doubtful for this game. So we'll see what they can do here against the Sacramento Kings, who come into this one, guys, 4-3 on the season, fresh off of that, win at Miami. They won that game by 1 point. So a nice win there, but a very, very close game. Obviously, we saw the Kings, a big game there from DeRozan. Gotta love having him on board. De'Aaron Fox, it seems like he's not that bothered by his little hand injury that he's got going on. And we saw Malik Monk have a nice game coming off the bench. So lots of positives there for the Sacramento Kings. They come into this game. Herter is on the injury report there, guys. He's listed as day-to-day. He's currently dealing with, something of, just that illness that's going around the NBA right now. So we'll see if he plays. He's questionable for this one. Either way, I don't think that's a huge deal in this one. Looking at the numbers for this game, guys, we see the Sacramento Kings are -10.5 playing at home. We got an over-under of 236.5 in this game. Toronto 7-1 against the spread, 7-1 to the over this year. Sacramento 3-1 against the spread, and 4-3 to the over themselves. With a total here of 236.5, it's a big number, guys, but I'm shading a bit towards the over. I probably am going to withhold judgment a little bit on this one. Need to wait a little bit longer before we see what we're going to actually do, but I think you probably want to be shading towards the Raptors and the points in this spot. The Kings do tend to play some close games. That's all the games we have for today, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.